and blood. Dreams didn't make us kings. Dragons did.
The threat of war looms.
And welcome all to the Night of the Seven Kingdoms, Episode 1 After Show. And I must say, I am super excited to dive into this. I thought Episode 1 was really good for the most part. This was fun. I wasn't exactly sure what to expect in terms of tone. We knew there was going to be a good deal of comedy, being it is a Dunk and Egg, and they are a comedic duo to a certain degree. But knowing that this is going to be tonally much different from anything we've gotten in Westeros before with House of the Dragon and Game of Thrones, I was very interested to see what that would feel like. And it feels so good. I mean, it felt like I was back in Westeros. It felt supernatural, super organic. These characters feel so organic in this world. This is one of the richest time periods in Westeros history. I mean, without a doubt, there's so many just incredibly interesting characters in this time period that connect to so many important events. But overall, just after the first episode, these characters just feel right. They just feel right in this world of A Song of Ice and Fire that has been created. And so far, I'm enjoying it. I really enjoyed Episode 1. I enjoyed most of it. But welcome, everybody. Welcome one, welcome all. I'd love to hear from you guys. I want to know, what did you guys think? Did you like Episode 1? Did you not like Episode 1? What did you like? What didn't you like? Let me know. Let's see what we got in here. Got Ando. What is up, Ando? Here we go. Indeed. Got the Rogue Prince. What is up, Rogue Prince? Been 533 days since House of the Dragon season finale. Jeez. It's a long time. That is a long time. That is definitely a long time. Wow. But here we are. We are back. We are back in Westeros. We got Big Dago in the house. Okay, this is great. Awesome. Love it. We got Westeros in the building. The music intro moment. Yeah. The music intro moment was actually pretty hilarious. I have the episode right here. I can pull it up. We can play little clips of it here and there. The music, that was really funny. You start to hear the iconic triumphant Game of Thrones theme start to play, and then boom, just cuts right to fucking Dunk taking a big old dump, basically. Dunk taking a dump. That was I didn't have that on my bingo card, I guess. I'll say that. I did not have that on my bingo card for tonight's episode, but I did get a chuckle out of it. I thought it was hilarious too. I thought it was pretty funny. Pretty funny. One thing we did see, though, one thing I was hoping is that we were going to start the story off maybe with Sir Arlen still alive. But they're playing it pretty faithful to the source material, like super faithful to the source material, for this first episode. Like, this was such a good adaptation of, the first part of the book. And here we start off just as we start off in the novel, with Dunk already burying Sir Arlen after he had just passed. So it looks like all the good Sir Arlen scenes that we saw in the trailers will be flashbacks, which is fine. I mean, that's great too. I mean, I would have loved for the story to start with him still alive, but it's this is great. We're still going to see some nice Sir Arlen and Dunk scenes and flashbacks, so that'll be good. But yeah, we see Dunk burying Sir Arlen. Very sad. And I gotta say, you feel for Dunk when you're reading this scene in the book, of course, because this is all he's ever known. He's about to be thrust into the world of Westeros on his own for the first time. And he's quickly going to find that the image that he has of knighthood and chivalry and Westeros in general isn't going to really match up with what he actually sees with his own eyes. So he's going to have a major shock, throughout this first season, and adapting to this world that he didn't really know how it was. But in the show, they really added a nice touch to it. Like, you genuinely feel bad for Dunk here in this scene, like when he's standing over Sir Arlen's grave and he's burying him, and you hear him start to cry. Like you could feel that. Like, you could genuinely feel that. Like, Dunk is losing the only person that's ever cared for him. Dunk's been, he was on his own as a kid in Flea Bottom. Although, if we saw the In the Weeks Ahead trailers, it looks like we're getting some flashbacks all the way back to when Dunk was a kid in Flea Bottom. And it looks like he might not have been alone. So that's going to be fun to explore. But, Sir Arlen's all he's known. It's been him and Sir Arlen on the road for as long as he can remember. So this is a huge, defining moment for him. And you can see him kind of just laying it all out. And I thought Peter Claffey played it incredibly brilliant, where it was the perfect mix of, vulnerable, grieving, and, not starting my new path, like that moment of rebirth. This was, in a sense, a rebirth for Dunk in a way. So yeah, this was a great scene. I thought this scene was done just brilliantly, absolutely brilliantly. But yeah, Lionel just made it being my favorite character ever. Lionel is the fucking best. Definitely my favorite, hands down. Lionel was I thought Lionel stole the show. I mean, every performance we saw was good, really. Even the Fossaways. I thought even the Fossaway cousins were a good standout, like the actors playing the Fossaways. Great. Absolutely. All the acting on the show was good. And that was one thing I was looking forward to going in. Like, how's the acting going to look like? Because this is a totally different tone than anything we've seen before. Acting was great. Acting was really good for the most part. But yeah, Daniel Eggs as Sir Lionel, definitely my favorite performance. I feel like he stole the show. I feel like there was many good performances to go around, but freaking the Laughing Storm stole the show in episode 1. He was the highlight, I felt like. I feel like he was the MVP. But they were all good. They were all good. I was so ready for the music. I know, me too. Like, they teased us with it a little bit. They teased us with a little bit of that Game of Thrones sound intro, and then they just cut it right off. And I feel like that is perfectly fitting for what kind of show this is, because this isn't that big, giant, sprawling epic that Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon are. So it makes perfect sense not to have that kind of epic intro sequence for something like this. So I thought that was brilliant. Like, it totally got me. I was like totally ready for it. Don't get me wrong. I'm like, oh shit, are we gonna get a fucking da, 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 da. And then yeah, they just cut it right off, and we just see Dunk taking a big old dump behind the tree. And I feel like that's just perfectly fitting for the kind of story this is going to be compared to what those stories are. It's different. So I thought it was a great start. Fucking hilarious. Hey all, wow, that was a great start. Great start indeed. I agree, Jen. Let us know. What did you guys think throughout the night? What were some of your favorite scenes? What were some of your least favorite scenes? Let us know. It was a nice intro. Egg is the man. Again, as good as Sir Lionel was, I think Sir Lionel did kind of steal the episode, but after him, Egg was phenomenal, and I knew he was going to be good. Like, if you had been watching some of the behind the scenes features, and you hear kind of Dexter, Soul, and Soul talking about the character of Egg, and you get a feel for the kid in general. You can tell, like, he's got some wits about him. Like, he's a smart kid. He's a clever kid. You can tell. He's funny. He's sharp. He's kind of perfect for this role, and he looks just like Egg. Like, he's like a carbon freaking copy of Egg. And yeah, I thought his was the second best performance. I thought he and Daniel Eggs as Sir Lionel were the two best performances in episode 1. But again, they were all good. There wasn't any really bad performances at all. They were all good. Peter Claffey, again, like, he really tugged at the heartstrings at the very beginning of this episode, like seeing this scene and seeing how heartbroken he is over Sir Arlen's death. And we hear him kind of weeping, like he's crying as he's trying to get these words out. Great adaptation of the material for one, but just incredible performance from Peter. So all the acting was great. But yeah, Sir Lionel stole the show, but after Sir Lionel, Egg was fucking great. He was so great. And again, this this show is gonna do wonders for that kid. I'm telling you, not just for his professional life, but for his confidence as an actor. This show is gonna do so much for him. He's probably gonna grow up on this show a lot like what happened with the younger actors on Game of Thrones when that first started, Maisie Williams and the actor playing Bran. They were all super young. They grew up on that show. They grew up into those roles, and I get the feeling we're going to see something similar here with Dexter Solansley, where we're going to see the kid grow up in this role, and he's perfect for it. Like I think this is going to do wonders for his confidence and for his acting ability. And he's already a good actor. I mean, child acting is. You always want to say, you always want to say, yes, they're doing a great job, but, you want to be honest too. Like sometimes child acting isn't the easiest thing to do. There's not a whole lot of child actors out there that are like really good at like nailing scenes, nailing their lines, perfecting dialogue, perfecting, their mannerisms. Like, that's just stuff that comes with time. That stuff that comes with experience. But I gotta say, Dexter Solansley, like he's a good actor. Like he was really good as Egg. He was super believable, super convincible. He felt like Egg from the book. He felt exactly like the character. So he did good. I think he did really good. I think Egg's gonna be this kid's gonna blow up from this show. He's gonna blow up. I really enjoyed showing dunks, Peach. They did. Yeah, we got a couple dunks, Peach shots indeed. What a lovely start from Blue. Yep, good start again. I'm enjoying it. Looks like most of you are enjoying it too. It looks like most people are saying it's off to a good start. Love that. Lionel is amazing, and the dance number was awesome. The dance number was great. The dance number was really great, and we're going to get to that too. Take a look at that. But yeah, Dunk burying Sir Arlen, kind of saying goodbye to his old life as a squire and trying to embrace this new life that he wants for himself, being a hedge knight and one day being a proper knight, being taken into our Lord's service at some point. And we even get this, very similar dialogue that we get in the book where Dunk kind of weighs his options. It's not like going to Ashford Meadow was like his first choice and he just ran to it. He starts pondering what he should do. He even considers going to King's Landing and joining the City Watch, but ultimately he ends up going for the tourney. He feels like that's the best option for him. So it was nice to see them kind of adapt that very similarly. Yeah, a few drinks and they were BFFs. They really were. Again, I knew the Duncan Sir Lionel scenes were going to be really fucking good. I knew they were going to be good. Lionel dancing was so good. The chaotic, unique jerks really showed his personality. See, and this is exactly we were talking about this earlier in the pregame show. But this is exactly, we're going to totally see where Bobby B gets his swag from, where Robert Baratheon gets his swagger from. We're totally going to see. It's from all the Baratheons that came before him, Lionel included. And yeah, he's just got such a lively personality. I mean, you don't get the name the Laughing Storm for no reason. So yeah, he's got a huge personality, big, boisterous, very loud. And we're going to see him like that throughout his entire tenure on the show, in which I imagine he's going to probably be in multiple seasons. This will not be his own season. If they're adapting more and going further, Lionel will probably be in multiple seasons. So we have a lot more to look forward to of Lionel beyond just this season. So that'll be fun. But yeah, let's see. Great start, great opening, even down to like some of these shots where you see Dunk kind of riding off into the distance, like in between the trees with, with nothing but the three horses. Very, very similar image to what you see in the graphic novel, almost super similar, almost the exact same thing. They really did, pull pieces right off the page and onto the screen from the description of the novella and from the graphic novel. Like I'm seeing a lot of inspiration from both, which is fun. Which is very fun. What is up, Star? Good to see you. Hi, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Shame on you not warning me of. I didn't know that was coming. I had no idea that was coming. I promise. promise I did not know that was coming. That surprised the fuck out of me too. Here I am thinking we're going to get this triumphant Game of Thrones style entrance. We hear the music start playing, and then boom, it gets cut, and we get that. I promise. If I knew that was coming, I would have let you guys know. I promise. Lionel reminds me of Jade. He does look a little bit like Jade, like abso-fucking-lutely, 100%. All right, let's go to the Sir Lionel and Dunk scenes, because those are really good scenes, and then we'll go back. Let's see, where are Sir Lionel? It's closer to it here. All right. I mean, he's so great. The actor playing Lionel, Daniel Ings, he's absolutely phenomenal. He's such a good actor. He's so good in everything he's in. So when I heard that he was cast as Lionel Baratheon, I knew that this was going to be the role. This was going to be that one role in the show that like is that fucking role I know I'm going to love. There's always one. Anytime I'm going into a new show, anytime I'm going into a series, especially A Song of Ice and Fire, I love all of these characters, but there's always one I'm really looking forward to based on who they cast to play that character. And as soon as I saw the casting for this, I knew, okay, this is going to be my dude. This is going to be my character in season 1 and in multiple seasons. Because Daniel Ings is just so good. He's so perfect for this role. And yeah, this fucking first episode, he killed it. He fucking killed it. And yeah, he does look a little bit like Jade from From. Absolutely. He's got a little bit of Jade vibes. Yeah, I love the dancing. Yeah, we got some sick dance moves. We got some really sick dance moves, indeed. Let's see here. I love how they're trying to stomp on each other's feet. Like this is so great. I love the humor in this show too, right? Like the humor in this show is so fucking good. It's not too much to the point where it's just like a comedy in Westeros. It still is going to have that serious aspect and those serious tones to it as well. But yeah, like the comedy, there's going to be a lot more comedy in this than we see in House of the Dragon and Game of Thrones. And it's so far, and it's freaking great. It's really good comedy. Hopping with feet is great. So good. So good. Yeah, this was great. This was great. Yeah, he will definitely be a new fan favorite. He was great. I think so. I think he's going to be a huge fan favorite for sure. They really did a good job with making the scenes and sets feel we were now seeing Game of Thrones from the small folks' point of view. And that's what's great about this story, 100% West of Westeros. That's what's so fun about this is we're not seeing it from the POV of the High Lords and the kings and queens and people vying for the throne. This is just seeing Westeros, good old-fashioned, the gutter, dirty side of Westeros, the regular side of Westeros that most people see from the eyes from just a regular low-born hedge knight. Very true rags to riches tale. This is a true underdog story. And that's going to be so fun, just seeing it through his eyes. And again, we're going to be going on this journey with Dunk. Dunk is going to start to continue to realize that, wait a minute, this is different. This is not what I was told it was. This is not like Sir Arlen said it was in the stories. I think, we definitely get the sense that Sir Arlen painted a very noble picture of knights and chivalry and all of that, how it maybe once was at one point in a time. And Dunk's going to start to see that it's not exactly like that the real world isn't exactly like some of the stories and some of the tales that he's read, that it's a little bit dirtier, it's a little bit bloodier, a little bit realer. And that's going to be fun to go on that journey with Dunk. It's almost like he's exploring Westeros for the first time, really, through a totally different set of eyes, from a totally different point of view. He's almost kind of seeing like the real Westeros that maybe Sir Arlen kind of protected him from a little bit. Who knows? Maybe he sheltered him from it a little too much, because it is that kind of shock that you see from Dunk when he's getting thrust into this world like the first time. This is all new to him. A lot of it's new to him anyway. He's never been on his own. So I hope they dive into that a little bit more. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. I'm a little sad we didn't get 2 episodes released. I mean, I would have loved 2 episodes as well. Don't get me wrong, but at least if nothing else, we have 6 straight weeks to look forward to this show. I know it's not 8 or 10 episodes, but We got 6 straight weeks to look forward to what seems to be some really good television with some good old-fashioned good writing and good characters. But yeah, I mean, the way, especially the way the first one ended, I'm like, fuck, I cannot wait to see episode 2. And then when you see the trailer for episode 2 and what's to come, holy shit. Like, I don't know if you guys watched the trailer, but damn, that trailer looks fucking good. That trailer for the upcoming episodes looks really fucking good. And we'll take a look at it here in a little bit. Yeah, Duck learning the truth about Egg is going to be so cute with Dunk's response being humbled and changing his tone with Egg. And I can't wait to see Egg's sarcasm get heavier once he gets exposed. Yeah, that should be fun. That should be fun. Yeah, that's going to be a very, the big reveal once Egg is kind of forced to reveal himself. Because if the whole incident didn't happen, Egg probably wouldn't have revealed himself in that moment. Egg kind of only reveals himself to be who he is because he has to. So if that hadn't happened, I imagine Egg probably would have continued to go on just pretending he's just some kid, or at least being vague about who he really is, not outright coming out and saying it. But yeah, that scene is going to be really good. That's going to be a really, really good scene when Egg when Egg is forced to kind of reveal who he is to Dunk. And it should be interesting to see Dunk's reaction. Are they going to go with the same reaction that Dunk has in the books? Are we going to see them play it a little bit differently? That's what I want to see. Yeah, but yeah, I wanted more. I definitely wanted more. And yeah, what to come looks freaking fire. It does. It does. And I'm going to do a full breakdown on the trailer that is what is to come. I'll probably have that up on the channel. I'm going to try and get it out tomorrow. And I'll be doing episode breakdowns. I'll be doing tons of videos on this all throughout throughout the next 6 weeks. And I imagine hopefully during that time, throughout this next 6 weeks, while we're covering A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, I'm hoping during that time we'll get a From Season 4 trailer at some point. And then, of course, as soon as we do, it's on. It's fucking on. We're going right back into From, just like we're diving into Westeros now. But yeah, so far, really good start, I would say. Phenomenal start. The episode really kind of adapts the first little beginning of the book and the graphic novel really faithfully, like very faithfully, like Game of Thrones season 1 faithful, kind of, in a sense. Similar kind of tone even to it as well. So far, I thought it was a great start. Characters were great. The writing was great. The performances were good. That was the one thing I was looking forward to seeing, what the tone was going to look like in the acting performances. And I got to say, the cast really did a good job. Everyone really kind of nailed their roles. For me, I think Sir Lionel and Egg are the two standouts in terms of acting, but everybody across the board was really good. Can't wait to see a little bit more from Balon Breakspear. Cannot wait to see some more from Aerion Targaryen and Maekar Targaryen and all the other characters that we're going to see a little bit more of. But yeah, great start. Great start. Phenomenal start. And I think this is going to be a really, really fun show. A really fun show. Yeah, good stuff, guys. Good stuff. But let me know, what did you guys think on a scale from 1 to 10, with 10 being perfect and 1 being horrible? What score would you guys give A Night of the Seven Kingdoms episode 1, from 1 to 10? For me, this was a good episode. I feel like I would be doing it injustice if I gave it anything less than an 8 or an 8.5. Like, it was good. It was a really good start. Really good start. So I'm going to go 8.5. I'm going to go 8.5 to start. This was a phenomenal start to the show. 9.5 from start. Awesome. Really good score. That's a really good score. Yeah, this was good. This was a great start. This was a great start. Great start. Great start to the season. I am super excited to be back into Westeros. Awesome stuff, guys. 10, because I need this dose of Game of Thrones in my life again. Hey, there's nothing wrong with giving something like this a 10. This was good. This was legit. This was really good. This was actually legit good. I knew it was going to be. And I mean, if any, you guys have heard me talking about it, I had a feeling this was going to be good, just based on everything we have been seeing from the behind the scenes and the trailers. Like, I had a feeling this was going to be pretty decent. And it's so good to know. Like, hell yes, it was. I knew it was going to be, and it is. This is a really good show. Really great start. So yeah, 9.5 from Star. We got a 10 from West of Westeros. We got an 8 from Jen the Teacher. Solid score. We got an 8 from Big Heck as well. Awesome. We got a 9 from Blue. Another solid scores. All solid scores. Kelly giving it a 9 as well. Awesome. Doc also giving it a 9. Love it. Looks like everybody's really enjoying the beginning of the Night of the Seven Kingdoms. And again, I knew we would. I had a feeling this was going to be a hit. It just looked like they really did this one right. And if this episode is any indication as to the quality of the rest of the show, then yeah, they're doing it right. And this is going to be a really, really, really fun series with some great characters, really rich characters. It's nice to have just a kind of more slower, simple, more character-driven storyline every once in a while, set in this very rich world of Westeros, as opposed to the big sprawling epics. I love, and don't get me wrong, I loved Game of Thrones. I'm enjoying House of the Dragon, or at least most of House of the Dragon. Season 2 has its moments. But overall, I love this world. I love being in this world. I love watching these shows. But we got the 2 big sprawling epics, so it's nice to have something a little bit smaller that is, a little bit more geared towards focusing on good character development and just good, rich storytelling in very minimal, small locations. I love that. I love the format of this show. So I'm pumped. I am pumped. Yeah, some of the dialogue followed the book word for word. It did. A lot of it did. That's why it kind of reminded me a lot of that, Game of Thrones season 1, episode 1 type vibe. Like, you go back and you watch the first episode of Game of Thrones, a lot of the dialogue is ripped right off the page and into the show. Like, it's a pretty good adaptation. Yes, they changed some things. Don't get me wrong. It's not 100%, one-to-one comparison. But for the most part, it's a very faithful adaptation, even down to some of the dialogue being ripped directly off the page. And yeah, we're seeing that here too. A lot of the dialogue was exactly how it is in the book and in the graphic novel. So yeah, great start. Great start. Looks like everybody's really enjoying it. Love that. Love seeing that. Yeah, Westeros is back, folks. Westeros is absolutely back. All right, let's see. We'll take a quick look at the trailer for next week because, again, the upcoming trailer looks phenomenal. In the weeks ahead, it looks really good, and I do have it right here. I also have the inside the episode. We can maybe even take a look at that too, but we got to play it in short bursts because I can't risk getting struck. Don't want to risk that, but we can play a few seconds at a time and take a look at it. But yeah, Lionel's freaking awesome. Lionel is absolutely awesome. Absolutely awesome. Yeah, I knew he was going to be good. I knew Daniel Ings was going to nail this role as Sir Lionel, or the Laughing Storm. Also, Dunk wearing Laughing Storm's antlers. Yeah, great. I mean, again, you could just, you can totally see these 2 characters hitting it off really well. Because even though Sir Lionel is, a high lord and, the heir to Storm's End and this big, warrior, this great kind of knight with tons of accolades, at the end of the day, he is kind of, you can tell that Dunk is the kind of person that he'd want to hang out with, like a real man's man, not just like a fellow knight. I just feel like even though he's a highborn, he's got a little bit of that gutter in him. Sir Lionel does. So you can totally see why him and Dunk hit it off pretty well. So yeah, Lionel's freaking awesome. Lionel is awesome. All right, let's see what we got here.
This city
Young Dunk.
is too small for us, Dunk. I never got nothing by waiting around.
Young Dunk. So it looks like we are going far back in these flashbacks. That is awesome. I wasn't expecting for us to go all the way back to King's Landing and to Fleabottom. I was hoping we would, part of me hoped like maybe we'll see like really, really, really young Dunk all the way back in Flea Bottom, and maybe how him and Sir Arlen first met. So love that. Love that we're going all the way back to Flea Bottom to see Dunk when he was a child and to see, how he survived. We do know that he was orphaned at a young age. So it looks like we're probably going to see that. Maybe we'll see the passing of his parents and how he survived on the streets of Flea Bottom until Sir Arlen found him, maybe. So I love that. I love that they're diving super deep into Dunk's origins and going all the way back to the very beginning of his childhood, probably right when he first lost his parents. So love this. This is great. This is great. Yeah, it's awesome, right? I love that they're going that far back. Love it. Love it.
You want a family? Go out there. Get a family.
You want a family? Go out there and get a family. Yeah, again, we're probably gonna see young Dunk right after he lost his family, or we're probably going to see him when he loses his family, and the change that happens. And it'll be interesting to see what kind of life Dunk had, down in Flea Bottom. Like, how were his parents? What were Dunk's parents like? It said, George has loosely kind of alluded to that he and Brienne of Tarth are, distant relatives. Related in some way. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see his parents and the kind of structure he came from, the kind of parent who, how the parents that raised him, like what kind of parents were they, I guess. Yeah, I'm going to start reading the stories after the stream. Yeah, I've been going back and re-listening to all of the audiobooks just to, not only to refresh, just because the stories are so fucking good too. Like, these are so good. You totally understand why George kind of often refers to them as some of, if not his favorite stories, even more than the main series. Like, he loves these characters. He loves Dunk and Egg. So yeah, and they're good. They're great characters. Great characters.
Sir Arlen taught me sword and shield.
Sir Lionel's a fucking maniac. Sir Lionel is a maniac. Yeah, we're going to get a lot of really good scenes, I think, with Sir Lionel getting drunk, being, just absolutely, a maniac, a nutter, absolute nutter. But yeah, it's funny. Absolutely funny. But we hear Dunk talking about how Sir Arlen charged him to be a knight. Promised him to be
away from castles and servants.
Someone will remember him. He spoke of his time in your service as his very finest.
Poor Dunk. Not having a lot of luck convincing anybody or getting anybody to remember him and Sir Arlen, which is understandable. Dunk, of course, and see, this is the disconnect, I guess. This is a perfect example of the disconnect of the Westeros that Dunk has in his head and the Westeros that actually exists. Dunk is, hearing about how, or, grew up with Sir Arlen fighting in all of these different battles. And for Dunk, he thinks that's that's a big noble accomplishment. Sir Arlen is a knight. He's a true knight that's fighting in the service of all of these lords. Of course, these lords are going to remember him. He's a knight. And that's where the disconnect comes in, where Dunk is starting to realize that Hedge knights are a dime a dozen. They're almost as common as regular foot soldiers. And he's not, he's slowly coming to that realization that, nobody remembers him. Nobody remembers Sir Arlen. How come nobody remembers him? He fought in all of your lord's service. He took an arrow for you. And we hear that one lord talking about it. It's like, you know how many people took a lot more than just a freaking arrow in my father's service up in those mountains? Of course we're not going to remember one Hedge knight. So this is that kind of disconnect that that Dunk is experiencing for the first time in terms of the Westeros he thought he knew in his head versus the real Westeros and what it's really like for Hedge knights. But yeah, it's going to be fun to see how he grapples with that and how he adapts to it.
I know him not, man.
This is undignified, sir.
This is undignified, sir. Egg's going to be great. I think Egg's going to be the source of a lot of, comedic levity. I guess you could say. His timing, the comedic timing with Egg is going to be really good, I think. There's the one scene, a preview of the one scene where Dunk is in the tent and he's talking to Tanzil, and it's the adaptation of the scene where Dunk says, "Oh, you're not too tall. You're just right for," and then he stops. They adapted that scene so freaking good. As soon as Dunk delivers that line, you see the look on Egg's face. Like Egg looks over at Dunk and just has the most perfect look on his face when he's looking at Dunk. Cracks me up every time I freaking see it. Dexter Soul Ansel is going to be really good on the show. Again, I think the show is going to do wonders for this kid. He's really, really good. The look on his face, you guys will see it. Like when we get to that scene, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about when that scene comes around. You see the look on Egg's face when he looks up at Dunk. It's fucking hilarious. It's perfect. And I know you guys will notice it. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. That'll probably be in next week's episode, I would imagine. But yeah, good trailer so far. Let's see where it goes.
No, goose eggs, like goose eggs.
You must think me a fool.
All men are fools.
Hedge Knight!
Hedge Knight.
Will you heed my call to war?
Will you heed my call to war? Now, of course, this is him talking about the tug of war scene that we saw in previous trailers. Which is great. I can't wait to fucking watch that scene, to be honest. The tug of war scene. We have Sir Lionel personally coming up to Dunk, asking for if he'll accept his call to war, which of course is going to be the tug of war match. And why wouldn't he? For if nothing else, Dunk is massively big and massively strong. Like he's not like a normal sized person. He's a little bit bigger in the book than he is on the show. I mean, it's hard to find like a 7 foot tall actor that's this good at acting, but Peter Claffey's super tall. I believe he's like 6'5", 6'6", around there. So he's super tall. He's perfect for the role. But Dunk is a super big, super imposing figure. He's massively strong too. So of course, if I was Sir Lionel, Dunk would be the first person I would ask for help if I was going to fucking do a tug of war match. There we go. Awesome. Yeah, these three having a blast. Love that. I'm looking forward to this scene. This scene's going to be fun. That's going to be a fun scene. The tug of war scene is going to be good. That's going to be really good. If nothing else, I would love to get some scenes with the three of them together. Obviously we're going to probably get a lot of scenes with Dunk and Sir Lionel. We're going to get tons of scenes, obviously, with Dunk and Egg. But I would love to get some scenes between the three of them. And we probably will a little bit later on towards the end of the season. But yeah, we're going to slowly start to see Dunk cultivating allies and friends, I guess you could say. And that's going to serve him very well when we get to the actual, conflict of the story, pretty much. Lionel drunk walking away from Dunk and and his antlers he hits the antlers on a chandelier and then looks up and apologizes to the chandelier. He's good. He's good. He's he's going to be so fun. He's going to be so fun. He's going to be so fun to watch. Love
Men and Knights.
Shut up.
After the tournament, I can stay in as your squire. Come on!
If I lose my first joust, I'll scarcely be a knight.
Oof. Okay. And one thing it looks like a lot of these scenes are probably going to be taking place in episodes 2 and 3. And that's, one thing that comes to Game of Thrones trailers and House of the Dragon, they sometimes, tend to put scenes from every single episode in their trailers. I wish they would kind of only cut their trailers from just the first few episodes and not even show any scenes from later episodes. But at least for the most part, it looks like a lot of these scenes that we're seeing for this trailer anyway do look like they're probably going to be taking place in episodes 2 and 3. So that's good. That is good. So did I miss episode 1? Well, it's up on HBO right now. It aired at 10 p.m. Eastern, which was an hour and a half ago. and we are now just discussing it a little bit. But it is up there. It is on HBO Max right now. It is available, and it was phenomenal. I thought it was phenomenal. I thought it was a really, really brilliant start, and I think this is going to be a good series. Really, really solid start. And it seemed like most of the chat was liking it earlier when we were giving our scores on 1 to 10. It looks like the average score in the chat was around a 9.95. We got a lot of 9s, a lot of 8s. I haven't seen anything lower than an 8 from all the scores from everybody in the chat. And I gave it an 8.5, solid 8.5 for the first episode. I thought it was great. So yeah, check it out. Inside the Squared Circle. I think you'll like it. I think you will like it. It was a really, really good start. And now we are checking out the trailer for In the Weeks to Come, which again, they cut together a really, really good trailer for the In the Weeks Ahead trailer that played at the end of the episode. And we're checking it out.
If you win,
Mind your pride, Sir Duncan. There are princes about.
he's touching her.
Oof. Now, anyone who's read the books or read the graphic novel, you know what this scene is. This is the scene that kind of the catalyst of the entire story in the first book, in the Hedge Knight, and what everything is surrounded on. This poor young puppeteer getting mistreated by Prince Aerion Targaryen, and Dunk does not take kindly to it. And one thing I love is in the graphic novel version of this, with the art by Mike S. Miller. I love one scene that he depicted, one panel that he depicted in this part of the story, where you see Dunk just kind of like walking up to one of the guards, like super kind of nonchalantly and calmly, and kind of just, you see like 3 different panels, one of him grabbing him, one of him just like throwing him over the side, and then one of him kind of walking forward. It perfectly depicts like just like how big and strong Dunk is, and like how much stronger he gets when he's fucking pissed and he wants you out of his fucking way. It's a brilliant, brilliant kind of rendition of that scene in the graphic novel. I think I have it somewhere. I'll try and pull it up if I can. But that's what I'm looking forward to in this scene right here, when it gets to this very, very important and vital scene. Here it is. Again, brilliant. I really enjoy the Knight of the Seven Kingdoms graphic novel version as well. I mean, the novella is like, is the main version, but the graphic novel version is good too as well. It's a little bit abridged, a little bit of stuff is left out, but it's a very faithful adaptation. But here we have one of my favorite panels in the entire comic. We have this scene is taking place in a very similar time as to what we just saw in the trailer, with the poor puppeteer getting abused by Aerion Targaryen. And I just love the way that it's depicted right here, how Dunk just kind of calmly walks up, again, just grabs the knight, just chucks him like he's a freaking sack of bread, like he's a sack of beans. I love this scene. I just love the way that it's depicted. And then he kind of just goes right up to Aerion and just cracks him, fucking cracks him. Love it. I cannot wait to see this scene. So yeah, this is good. This is good. Great stuff. I mean, again, this adaptation is super accurate. It's super accurate so far. Very, very faithful to both the novella, and it even looks like they drew some small inspiration in some scenes from even the graphic novel in some cases. But there we go. Looks like this is going to be, everything's going to be getting set off with this massive event. And I would imagine this will take place maybe in the end of episode 2, maybe, or maybe episode 3, maybe. Around there. I mean, there are only 6 episodes, so they can't draw it out too long, but we'll see. And I gotta say, I'm really looking forward to some Aerion scenes as well. I think episode 3, if not at the very end of episode 2, then episode 3, I would imagine that scene, the Duncan Arion scene will be taking place in this scene right here. Yeah, if not the end of 2, probably 3. But I love this freeze frame. You see Arion just with bloody mouth looking up at Dunk like what the fuck? Like he's not used to being in these kind of situations with someone putting their hands on him. He's probably never been punched like that ever in his life. So this was just again, great actor who's playing Arion as well. I can't wait to see this scene. This is going to be a really fun scene. This is going to be a really, really fun scene. Good stuff.
It is never wise to strike a king's grandson. I have no choice. Trial by combat.
Baelor Breakspear, who we didn't really get to see much in the first episode, but he'll play a very, very important and very vital role in season 1 in particular. Very much looking forward to seeing a little bit more from him. Baelor is probably my second favorite character in the book, at least. So far, I mean, Sir Lionel I love Sir Lionel. I think he's great. But I love Baelor Breakspear as well. He's definitely one of my favorite characters. Baelor Breakspear in the books. He's one of those very rare Targaryen princes that would have gone on to make like a really good king, like a legit good king, not like a crazy Targaryen king. He was one of the good ones, it seems like, anyway. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing a little bit more from Baelor. Definitely want to see some more from Baelor Breakspear. But we know, heading to a trial by combat.
It must be held at dawn.
That means battle axes and...
And it looks so good. How good does this fucking look, right? And this was one thing that George was always a little, not upset, but was really bummed that Game of Thrones didn't get this right in season 1. That was one of the few flaws in Game of Thrones season 1, is how they depict the tournaments and what they really look like in the books. Like in the books, especially the tournament for the Hand of the King, like that one, that tournament should have looked massive. It should have looked how the tournament looked in House of the Dragon. That's how those tournaments should look. But this is the tournament at Ashford Meadows. Not exactly a huge, massive tournament, but still an important enough tournament. And I feel like they nailed it just right to kind of convey that. Whereas it's not just kind of, a couple sticks lined up like Game of Thrones did. So this looks great. Cannot wait to get to these scenes. I think it's going to be really good. Really good.
Lances of war. I know what it means.
I always knew you meant trouble.
I always knew you meant trouble. See, again, Sir Lionel, he's just the fucking best. He's just the fucking best. I always knew you meant trouble.
Knew you meant trouble. You meant trouble.
Means.
I always knew you meant trouble. I always knew you meant trouble.
Fucking love Sir Lionel. He's great. He's great. He's going to be, I think he's going to be a huge fan favorite. Huge fan favorite. By the time this season's done, I think Sir Lionel's going to be a massive fan favorite. He's just a really good character, and they just so happen to get a really, really good actor in Daniel Ings to play him. So this can't fail, this role. It's going to be good. Yeah, that Game of Thrones season 1 tourney set looked like a high school play. It did. It legit did. It looked like a high school play. Like it looked no bigger than high school bleachers. It really did. Like regular high school bleachers is what it kind of looked like, just wooden ones. And yeah, a few sticks, for the list in the middle. It was very, very shoddy. It was not very well done. And it's not like they didn't know how to put together complicated and detailed set pieces. I mean, the throne room in season 1 is very detailed and it looks great. So it's not like they weren't capable of putting together good set pieces. For some reason, they just maybe didn't put as much emphasis on the tournament as they thought they should. Maybe they just thought it wasn't as big a deal, so they didn't feel the need to go all out on it. But yeah, they went very shoddy on the Game of Thrones tournament in season 1. Very shoddy. House of the Dragon and this is what it's supposed to look like. These two shows are nailing the tourneys. The look, the vibe, the setting, the mood, the tone, like they're nailing it. This is what a Westeros tournament should look like. especially one at somewhere like Ashford Meadows, which isn't exactly a big Hand of the King tourney.
Come out, little knight. It's time you face the dragon.
I love that. I love that line. Love that fucking line. Love the way it's delivered. That's going to be a fun scene. Come out, little knight. It's time to face the dragon. And one thing, I'm looking forward to seeing Aeron Targaryen more, especially considering where his storyline ends up and how, like, kind of mad he ends up becoming. Or does, I don't know if he becomes mad. You might don't have to call it madness per se, but where his storyline goes, he's very much the antagonist character. And I'm looking forward to seeing that. Where they're eventually going to go with Aeron is probably going to be pretty freaking crazy if they, follow the character, which I imagine they're going to. I imagine they'll follow the character exactly as it was in the book. And that's going to be interesting. Like, how are they even going to do that scene? What is going to possess Aeron to one day do that? And anyone who knows the book knows exactly what I'm talking about, what Aeron goes on to do later. What possesses him to do something like that? Like, what was he thinking? What was going through his mind? What is that scene going to look like? Looking forward to seeing all that. I've got Henry Bemis in the house. What is up, Henry Bemis? Good to see you. Just finished watching. I thought they nailed it. Me too, man. Me too. I thought they freaking nailed it. I thought they nailed the first episode. The tone, the setting, the dialogue, the writing, the acting, everything just felt like we were right back in Westeros with not some big, giant, sprawling epic, but a nice, smaller, character-driven story with a kind of laser focus on good storytelling, good acting, and just fun characters. And so that's all you need. Like when you're setting something in a world like this, like Westeros, how rich this world is. Yes, I loved Game of Thrones and I love House of the Dragon, but I'm loving what they're doing here as well, where it's a lot smaller. It's just simple character-driven storytelling. And yeah, they nailed it. So I'm glad you liked it, Henry. Glad you liked it. It seems like most people in the chat have been liking it as well. I haven't seen one score below an 8 out of 10. We did some scores earlier, and again, let us know what you thought, Henry. Out of from 1 to 10, where would you put your score for episode 1? Earlier, it looks like we didn't get a single score under 8. I think 8 was the lowest score we got. So it seems like everybody's really enjoying it. Really enjoying it. Real good. Real good. I wonder if any of the previous Game of Thrones actors watched this and thought, "Man, I would rather have been in a comical spin-off like this. Womp womp. Tyrion Lannister would fit right in with the show." Yeah, Tyrion's personality, his persona, his type of character would have fit in beautifully in a show like this. The Hound would have fit in beautifully in a show like this. Bronn would have fit in good in a show like this. There's a lot of characters that I think would have fit in well in this kind of story. Absolutely. But yeah, it was good. Really, really good. All right, let's continue this. And the combat looks so fucking good too, and that's another thing. Like, not only does this have like that really good kind of grounded, character-driven feeling, but the action sets and the action pieces look incredibly well done, just as well done as they look on Game of Thrones or House of the Dragon. So you are getting a good little mix of both. Even though this is a smaller, grounded, character-driven story, we're still going to get some good Game of Thrones type moments like this. Fucking throwing, like, the combat looks great. Throwing his fucking sword right into the dude's leg like this, come on. How impossible is that? Very, but it looks fun. Looks great. Looks chaotic. Looks absolutely chaotic. This shot I love. I love this shot of starting behind Dunk, going closer and closer, zooming in on him, and then all of a sudden you're looking through the POV of inside his helmet. I thought that was beautiful camera work, beautiful cinematography. Boom. It doesn't show it here, but in the other trailer, you get to see right there like the POV of inside Dunk's helmet, and all you see is the very thin slit. And I thought that was such a brilliant shot. That's such good camera work. I hadn't seen a shot like that before. And when you guys will see it, you guys know exactly what I mean. It's a brilliant shot. Absolutely brilliant show. Looking forward to seeing it. Yeah, combat was good. I love that. I don't know why I love that. As impossible as it would be, I fucking love that move. But the combat looks good. It looks dirty. It looks, grimy in the mud, like real. How two knights fighting would probably really look. As flashy as some of the fights look like in Game of Thrones and in House of the Dragon, sometimes more often than not, when you had two people in full plate armor fighting each other, they're not jumping around and doing acrobatic moves. It's going to be closer to this kind of in the mud slinging type fight. It's more similar to Brienne and the Hound, how their fight kind of played out. That is a lot more accurate to how these kinds of fights probably went. They weren't super flashy. You're not fighting very flashy in 6 inches of freaking mud. You're getting very grimy. It's up close and personal type brawling. It's more brawling than fighting. I love how they Scott. I love how they're kind of conveying that very well here in some of these action scenes. Looks very good. 8.5, verging on 9, made me stoked for the rest of the series. Me too. I gave it an 8.5 as well. That was my score. I gave it a solid 8.5. And I think this is going to be a phenomenal series. I love that we're going to be getting season 2 next year. It looks like we're going to get a season of this every single year, so that's great. Yes, it's only 6 episodes, and they're not the longest episodes in the world, but they're about as long as a 1 hour episode of regular television would be with commercials. You get around 15 to maybe sometimes 20 minutes worth of commercials in a regular show that's on basic cable. So we're getting around the same actual screen time as something like that, as like a 1 hour basic cable show, 30 to 40 minutes an episode of actual screen time. And again, would love to have them a little bit longer. Would love to have a few more episodes, but getting 6 episodes of good quality storytelling like this every year too, the fact that we don't have to wait 2 years in between seasons, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. It's definitely something nice to kind of that we can enjoy in between seasons of House of the Dragon and in between some of their bigger adaptations that they're going to be doing that are going to be huge. We'll be getting these every single year, probably for many years to come if this does well, because George has, even though only 3 books written, he's already given Ira Parker the outline for like 10 or 12 more stories that he's going to go on to do. So they can and probably will pass the books at some point. This show is going to pass the books. It's inevitable. But yeah, off to a great start. But yeah, I love the combat. Combat looks great. Again, it looks dirty, it looks grimy, in the mud. Love that. Love this final scene. And I love Egg right there too. Get up, Sir Duncan. Get up. And I think Egg's going to, prove throughout the series that he's going to be, a very worthy squire to Dunk. And one thing the actor talked a little bit about in some of the behind the scenes stuff is how he looks around and he sees all the squires around him, how they're all either young men or full grown adults. They're all super strong. Egg isn't. He's just a child. He's not strong. He can't lift what they can lift. He can't do the same things they can do that, squires do to help their knights. So he's going to have to find out his own way to become, a helping hand. And that's when he's going to rely on his brains, on his cleverness, because Dunk he's very clever. He's super smart for his age. And where other squires might rely on their strength, he's going to be relying on his wit and his intellect. And that's going to be fun to see him explore that. And it was interesting how the actor was even talking about that, how, he's going to have to find his own way of becoming useful where he can't rely on strength. So again, the kid's got a really good role fleshed out in his head for this character, and that's impressive for someone so young. So love that. But yeah, love this scene. And then this final scene here. I mean, this is the spirit of Dunk right here. Look at him. He improves that and just gets right up and he's ready to keep going. That is the spirit of Dunk. He has the spirit of an old school knight, an old school kind of knight that actually that the songs do actually sing about. They don't really exist these days in Westeros, and Dunk slowly starts to figure that out. That the stories and stuff that he has been told is very different from what the reality is. But Dunk grew up listening to those stories. He grew up listening to those tales. So for Dunk, that is what a true knight is, and we're going to see him portray that. We're going to see him show all of these other knights what a true knight really is. And this is it. That's the spirit. That's the heart of Dunk, and that's why he's such a beloved character. We're going to see him show all of these other knights what true knighthood really is. And I just love this final shot here in this trailer. This looks so good. This just looks so good. Let's do the whole thing. Here we go. Fucking Dunk, ready to go. Ready to go. Yeah, this is going to be fun. This is going to be really fun. It's going to be a really fun show, I think. Dunk is the idealized knight, even though he comes from nothing. Exactly. I think it's because he comes from nothing is why he becomes the idealized knight. I think it's because he comes from the gutters of Flea Bottom, and then on the road, being a squire to Sir Arlen, a hedge knight, a lowly hedge knight. This is what Dunk believes a knight is. This is what Dunk believes a knight is supposed to be. And that's what he does. That's what he goes out and shows everyone, what a knight is supposed to be. And it doesn't matter. He's showing you it doesn't matter that you don't have to come from a giant house to become a good knight. You just have to kind of have that dog in you. And Dunk has that dog inside of him. He does. So yeah, really good rags to riches, true underdog story for sure. Jeremy, if Dunk Squirt means in episode 2, will you consider giving it 9.2? I will. If there is by some miracle another Dunk Squirt scenes, or Dunk takes a dump scene, as I like to call it, Dunk's dump. If that happens in episode 2, I'll have to automatically give it a 9.2 or higher, maybe. Who knows? First to take the black pudding. Welcome, Lawrence. Good to see you. Hope you enjoyed episode 1. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope everybody enjoyed it. It looks like most of you did enjoy episode 1. Love that. Jeremy, if you had to take one scene as your favorite, which would you pick? In episode 1, if I had to pick one scene, what would be my favorite? Let's see. I'd say it would have to be between this opening scene. I love this opening scene, and I love the touch of humanity and the touch of grief that Dunk added to him saying goodbye to Sir Arlen. If not that, then maybe the first scene between Lionel and Dunk. I thought that was really fun. That was a really fun just good fun back and forth. But if we're talking just really good acting, just good old-fashioned good acting, the beginning of this episode was probably the most well-acted scene that I saw anyway. This was just really good. It was really heartfelt seeing Dunk kind of put to rest the only guardian, the only father figure he's ever known ever since he was orphaned. And to just see the pain and the grief and the intensity that they added to this scene, because again, this scene's sad in the book, but it's nowhere near this sad. I definitely did not get this feeling from reading this scene anyway. Yes, you get the feeling that Dunk is sad that Sir Arlen's gone, but here he makes you feel it. Peter Claffey makes you feel what he's feeling. When he's kind of whimpering and he's trying to talk, oh man, it instantly reminded me of kind of Victor a little bit, and him kind of saying to his dad, I was trying to find my way home. I couldn't find my way home. I don't know why. It reminded me of that a little bit. Gave me that vibe. But I feel like they just added a nice touch of humanity, a nice touch of vulnerability, a nice touch of Dunk, like really showing that grief and showing the audience what Sir Arlen really meant to him. Whereas in the book, he kind of just buries him and says, "Thanks for everything you taught me. You were a great knight. You never beat me." And if I didn't deserve it, it's not. You don't really. It doesn't really pull on the heartstrings when you read it. But in this scene, Peter Claffey makes you feel it. He makes you feel his grief. So that's probably some of the best acting I saw in the episode. The opening scene when he's burying Sir Arlen, for sure. But yeah, so good. I'm gonna watch it again. Yeah, me too. I'm definitely gonna watch it again. I'll probably watch it multiple times. Actually, I'll probably watch it multiple times throughout the week. Just trying to pick up on more things that I maybe missed. And obviously, as I do some videos on it, and I will be doing videos on it throughout the week, I will have my In the Weeks Ahead trailer breakdown video up on the channel hopefully tomorrow. And then I'll also be doing, I'll be doing a lot of videos on this. I'm so glad we're back in Westeros. I'm so happy that we're talking A Song of Ice and Fire, and we're diving back into this stuff again. Apart from this is my favorite thing to talk about. So I'm so happy to be back. Yeah, we'll be covering all of the episodes from live streams, recorded videos. We'll be doing the whole 9 yards. But yeah, that'll be fun. Like once it's over, going back and then just binging the whole season all at once, I imagine it's just going to feel like a movie. I imagine it's probably going to feel similar to a feature film at that point, where you're just watching like, a long feature film. You're just binging it. So yeah, that'll be fun. Once it's all done and over, maybe we'll do a watch party. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe once season 1 is over and it's done, we'll do a watch party. We'll just watch all the episodes in succession, like we're watching one long movie. Maybe we'll do a nice long watch party. That could be fun. Yeah, maybe we'll do that at the end of the season. I think that could be fun, either here or in the Discord, one of the two. But yeah, again, great start to the show. I think, again, 8.5 out of 10 I would give for this first episode. It was a solid start. Good performances from all of the actors. I thought the acting was really good. I can't really pick out a whole lot and say that was bad acting. I mean, there's some small scenes here and there that I would have done a little differently, but for the most part, this was a really good adaptation of the material. Very faithful. And overall, the most important part is it feels like Dunk and Egg. This feels like these characters. It feels like the characters that we've read about for all these years, both in the novella and in the graphic novels. It feels like Dunk and Egg. It feels like that point in time in Westeros, which again is a very rich time in Westeros right now with a lot of really good characters. So yeah, I give it 8 gold dragons. Doc gives it 9 gold dragons out of 10. I give it 8.5. 8.5 gold dragons out of 10. I'll give it for sure. And I'll have to make up some more custom emojis too. I know I have a Dunk and an Egg custom emoji right now, but I'm definitely gonna have to make a Sir Lionel custom emoji at some point. Gotta add that for the members. But big thank you to each and every one of you guys for watching tonight. Again, great start to the season. I am also going to go and watch the episode again right now. Awesome. And of course, the Patriots won as well. The Patriots are moving on to the AFC Championship game and then on to the Super Bowl after that. So it's been a really good week so far. So big thank you to each and every one of you for joining us tonight. And yeah, I look forward to diving into more A Night of the Seven Kingdoms with you guys soon. I'm hoping to get both PM and Ravener on here to do shows on this as well. So I'm going to try and work that out at some point. So yeah, hopefully we will be doing multiple breakdowns on A Night of the Seven Kingdoms every week. So look forward to diving into it with each and every one of you. But until next time, stay safe out there, ladies and gentlemen. Keep those tinfoil hats on, and I will see you on the next one. Cheers.
kings.